If you're tired of spending hours or even days editing a single video or creating motion graphics, this video is for you. Normally, creating this kind of motion graphics requires a lot of experience with After Effects and other tools like Blender, which most of us don't actually have. These tools typically have a steep learning curve, so it takes time to get used to. And if you don't go that route, the other option is to pay someone to create these graphics for you, which can be quite expensive, especially if you're still new, your channel isn't monetized yet, or you're not even sure whether it's going to generate any revenue. So I decided to do some research. I'd seen people using Remotion and Hyperframes to create these graphics, and based on what I found, Hyperframes does a really good job. Since it's open source, it's also completely free. But the issue is that it still requires a lot of back and forth, which can be a problem if you're not too tech savvy. But after about a week of testing and tweaking, I came up with a plugin that simplifies the entire process. It's something simple that can be installed inside your Claude desktop app, and it'll handle the whole workflow for you. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire thing. First, I'll show you where to get the plugin. You can check out my Skool or Discord community where the links will be. From there, I'll show you how to install it inside Claude, and then how to use it to generate your first video. We'll even go over creating timestamps for any script. This involves generating the voiceover and then using a tool like Whisper or 11 Labs to create the timestamps for it. Whether you just want to leverage motion graphics to improve your videos for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or you just want to use it for long-form content, this video will walk you through the entire process. So if you're ready to level up your editing game, let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is install the plugin. Make sure it's downloaded. Then open your Claude desktop app. The installation process is quite simple. Go down to the bottom left corner and hit Settings. Inside, scroll down the sidebar until you find Customize. Under Customize, you'll notice three options: Skills, Connectors, and Plugins. What we want is plugins, so select that. You'll then be presented with a couple of options: Browse and Add. The Browse feature gives you plugins from Anthropic themselves, but that's not what we want here. We want to add our own, so go to Add instead. It's going to warn you that you need to trust the plugin before installing. No need to worry. This is a simple plugin with no hidden code at all. Browse your computer, select the file name Motion Studio, and hit Upload. It'll then go ahead and install the plugin for you. Once that's done, you can go back to Claude. But before we get started, there are a few things you're going to need. First one is your voiceover. Then second is a time-stamped script from that same voiceover. Here's how this works. Normally, you'd give the AI your script, and it would generate motion graphics based on that script directly. But the issue with that approach is the motion graphics don't sync well with your voiceover, since the duration of your narration will depend on the voice you select. Some voiceovers can be faster than others, which can throw your animation completely out of sync if you don't consider this. We want something that pairs up perfectly with the narration. This way, the AI knows exactly when to bring in each element during editing. So, you first need to create the voiceover from your script, and then translate that same voiceover into a time-stamped script. Let me show you how. You can use a tool like 11 Labs, Clipchamp, or any other text-to-speech tool to convert the script to audio. Simply paste in your script, and you should have the narration in seconds. Once that's done, make sure you download the audio file and save it on your computer. Then, using that same audio file, it's time to convert it into time-stamped text. You can use Whisper for this part, but my personal recommendation is to stick with 11 Labs, as it's pretty easy to use. Go to Speech to Text and choose this transcribe option. Before you actually run the transcription, there's one thing you can do first. Make sure you've removed any unnecessary long pauses from your voiceover. This can be done with CapCut or whichever editing tool you prefer. Once that's done, export the cleaned up audio and bring that file into your transcription tool. For the language, I'll choose English directly, though you can leave it on Detect if you prefer. Turn off Tag Audio Events and leave everything else off before upload. Once it's done processing, click the title, and you should be presented with the full transcript. AI can make mistakes with the transcript, so I recommend going through the entire thing to make sure you correct any mistakes. In my case, for example, I'd mentioned my Skool community, which the transcript spelled differently from what I meant. So I'll correct that and check for any other spots where it may have gotten a word or spelling wrong. Once you've cleaned up any spelling mistakes, export the transcript as a JSON file. Uncheck this, as it's not necessary since there's only one speaker. Just make sure the timestamps box remains checked and then download. Before moving on, make sure both your voiceover audio file and your time-stamped transcript are saved in the same folder. This is the folder you'll be working in, so keep both files together there. Once that's done, it's time to head back to Claude. Since the plugin is already installed, select Code and start a new project. Make sure the folder that you want to store everything inside is selected. It's also the same folder that contains both the voiceover and the time-stamped script. If it asks whether you trust the workspace, go ahead and approve it. Now call the plugin we installed by typing a // You'll see a bunch of tools show up. Hyperframes adds a number of options besides the ones you may already have installed. But what you're looking for specifically is Motion Studio. Make sure that's selected and then hit enter without adding anything else. The system will now initialize. It starts by checking whether you already have hyperframes installed on your computer. If you don't, it will prompt you to approve as it installs it for you. Not only that, it's also going to check for any other skills it might need. If you already have hyperframes installed, this step just confirms that and continues. As the process runs, it may ask for your approval on a few more things. Each time, just click Allow, and it'll move on. However, if you don't want to keep dealing with these approval notifications, simply set the mode to Auto. That way, Claude will handle permissions on its own and decide which actions are safe to run without asking you each time. It'll still ask for your input where necessary, but you get to skip these basic approval notifications altogether. Once Claude is done setting up the necessary libraries, it'll present you with a few options. The first one is whether you want to save a new reference. Here's how the plugin works. It comes preloaded with about 11 motion graphic styles that I added myself. But if you have your own reference, say you saw something in a video by another creator that you liked, you can take a screenshot and upload it. The system will convert that into code, essentially turning it into XML, and add it to the plugin's library. This means the more you use the tool, the better it gets, since you can keep feeding it new references and it develops a stronger understanding over time. It's even possible to add GIFs instead of static images, which helps it better understand how your animation actually works, rather than working from a single still frame. That said, it can still work from images alone and try to build animations based on its understanding of that reference image. The final result won't be the exact same thing, as Claude will tweak elements, customizing them to fit your specific script. There's also a second option to browse the library. This typically gives you a visual overview of everything that's available so far. You can just ask the AI to show you. One heads up, sometimes it glitches and shows the background instead of the actual graphics. That's a bug I'm still working on fixing, but it doesn't really affect the main workflow, since you can just skip directly to building the video from the script. Copy and paste this here, and then add your timestamped script as well as the voiceover narration. Those are the only two files you need. You can actually ignore the narration by adding only the script. Claude will simply locate the voiceover on its own from the folder, but it's a lot easier just adding them both. Once you've added the files, the system will break the timestamped script down into beats. From there, it expands everything into individual frames. In this case, 22 frames were created automatically, and it opens the result in a browser for you to review. Each of the 22 frames comes with its own description. The first frame is a kinetic hook. Hours or days slam in over an editor timeline backdrop, where clip segments keep stacking endlessly. The next one shows a crowded Pro Editor mockup, assembling tracks and clip segments in a waterfall panel. Another one shows a steep learning curve, with a trending line drawing sharply upward on a glossy widget label. Each frame comes with details like this, and you can request changes for any frame you don't like. Once you've reviewed the plan, it'll ask whether the frame plan works and whether it should do a quick wireframe sketch pass before building the full video. You have the option to approve the sketches first, which is the recommended path, or go straight to the full build with motion, which is faster overall. You can always request changes to a specific frame if something doesn't look right. In this case, I'll skip the sketch step and go straight to approve. Depending on the length of your video, the system may ask to dispatch parallel agents to speed things up. Since the mode is set to auto, it'll skip asking for approval at each step and just move forward with the build. If you want to check on progress at any point, click this and you'll see the current tasks, a list of everything being worked on at once. The full build can take some time to complete, so feel free to leave it running in the background and check back in about half an hour to see how far along it's gotten. Once it's done with everything, you can preview the video right here, or find it inside your render folder this way. It'll take you directly to the file. Claude will also run hyperframes inside localhost, so you can check out the entire timeline. In case there's something you don't like, you can always ask the AI to make changes. For this one, I want to change the colors for scene 3, as it doesn't really match the theme of the video that was created. Since this entire video was created using XML, it's quite easy for Claude to identify the problem and then quickly implement a fix. That's how simple this whole process is, and as you can see, the result is pretty good. I didn't need to do anything besides just a few commands. Claude handled everything from start to finish, and this is only the beginning. It can actually access websites, grab the necessary information, and even use videos and images in the editing process, like in this example. Now, before we go, I have a bit of an announcement to make. We recently added some free features to Heckless for both starter and pro users. But first, if you don't know what Heckless is, it's a tool that my team recently launched that helps creators model any trending YouTube niche. So let's say you find a channel that's trending on YouTube and you want to start creating content in that same niche, but you have no idea where to start. Heckless simplifies the entire process, from coming up with viral topics like the niche you're looking at modeling to creating scripts and then generating the necessary image and video prompts, all in the same style as that channel. Not only that, Heckless provides access to the top image generation models on the market, including Nano Banana 2 and Pro. And once your images are ready, they can be animated with any video generators that you prefer, like Kling 3, Seedance 2, Grok Imagine, VO3, and more. From there, the tool puts everything together on its own to create your final video, before topping it off with thumbnails in the same style that's popular in the niche you're modeling. Heckless also makes it easy to customize any parts that you want. From modifying visual styles to actually editing thumbnail prompts, you get full control. And the best part is that users on the Starter and Pro plan now get free voiceover credits each month. Starter users get 100,000 characters, while Pro users get 200,000 of the best voiceover tools out there. I'm talking 11 Labs, Minimax, Fish Audio, and Edge. Not only that, Pro users can now clone unlimited voices to use for their narration. So, instead of paying for a separate 11 Labs subscription to use inside the app, Heckless is now giving you free voiceover generation and cloning each month. Additionally, we've also added this prefix feature to the image prompt generation, so you can now add anything that you want to include in each prompt, maybe a unique visual style or branded text that you want to add in your images. All of this is now available on Heckless.com. So if you're looking at getting started in that new niche, but you aren't sure how to create the same style of content as others are creating, check it out and let me know. I'll be leaving a link in the video description. You can also check out this video that'll carry you through the entire process of using Heckless. Anyway, I hope this helps you create some badass videos. Thank you, and see you in the next one.